At 8 a.m. for your viewing and listening pleasure. And what a joy it is to be with you again this morning. So, I've been talking to a lot of people, as you would imagine, a lot of people corresponding with me on the internet and through Facebook and all of the various social media platforms, through the phone and everything. And here's the big thing that I'm sharing with people right now. It's more than okay for you to be you. Do you get that? It's more than okay for you to be you. You don't have to be anybody else. Now think about that. If you were just being you, would that be like ultimate freedom? Because you're not worrying about, oh, I got to be like this to please that person. Oh, I got to be like that to please that person. Oh, I got to be this, that. Wait a second. Why would you want to do that? Why would you spend your time? Why would you waste your time trying to please somebody else? Do you know why it's a waste of time? Because you can't. You can't give enough to make someone else happy. Because the second you give everything you got, they want more. Why? Because happiness doesn't come from without. There is a key message in life. Happiness doesn't come from outside yourself. It doesn't come from other people. It doesn't come from things. It doesn't come from being in places. It doesn't matter where you go, who you're with, what you're doing. The common denominator is you're there. And if you're there, that means that the only thing that you have to worry about in any situation is who are you? And what's the best way to be? Yourself. Now, the question then comes, have you been putting on a mask for so long that you've forgotten who you are? That's a really good question. Have you put on a mask for so long? Some of you are close to my age out there. Just going to tell you, some of you are close to my age. We've been around the block a few times. We may have forgotten who we are. May have been putting on a mask for so long that the mask is glued to us and we don't even realize that we have a mask on. I like to think I don't have a mask on, but then I realize that I'm not conscious all the time. And when I'm not conscious, the unconscious past can slip in and I will become that person that maybe I really don't choose to be, but that I have built a habit of being. Real interesting. I'm going to use an example. It just came to me as I saw Deborah out there. Went to my 50th high school reunion a little over a year and a half ago. And I was very aware that when I went, I'm not that person that went to high school in 1967, 68, and 69. I'm not that person. But I had to be really aware that as I went through the experience of meeting people, as I met people, I didn't revert back to that person because I built a habit in how I dealt with them back then. You see what I mean? Here's a great place where we tend to build habits when we're dealing with our parents. If your parents are still alive and you're dealing with them, you've got a persona on because what did your parents teach you? If you're a good boy and a good girl, mommy or daddy will be really happy. But if you're not, guess what? So we build habits, unconscious habits of pleasing. And then we take those pleasing habits and we bring them out to other people. Oh, I got to please my wife because why? My father pleased my mother. Well, he really didn't. But that could be the case. A lot of times in relationships, we're role modeling our parents' relationship and we don't even realize that we're doing that. So are we being authentic? No. Being authentic is a full-time job. And would you expect any less? That's a really good way to look at it. If being you is your job in life to experience it in its most magnificent way, then that's your full-time job. But first, you got to peel the onion back. You got to peel the onion back and discover, who are you that you're trying to be? Now, there's two separate aspects that I'm going to talk about for a moment. One is that you're a spiritual being. You're a spiritual being, which means you're one with everything. That's one aspect. The second aspect is you're a human persona, meaning you have a personality. You've created an image. Now, is that the image? And that's what we're talking about right now. Because it's impossible to be the almighty spiritual Lee or the almighty spiritual Deborah or the almighty spiritual Annette or Sandra or Trudy, whoever. It's impossible to be the almighty spiritual all the time. Why? Because we got an ego. An ego takes us out of connection into the world of contrast, into the world of separation. So when we're in the world of separation, we have a DNA that's ingrained in us. I don't know why, but we do. And there are things that are naturally us and things that are not naturally us. When I'm talking to you right now, this is naturally me. I've learned that if I'm going to speak to people, I better be my authentic self, because if I'm not my authentic self, people will turn me off. And I'd rather piss you off because I'm authentic than piss you off because I'm being someone I'm not. Because I'm giving you the chance to love me as I am. Obnoxious, earthy, down-to-earth Lee. I'm giving you the chance to accept me as I am. And isn't that the greatest and easiest relationship to be in? Be in relationship with people who accept you as you are, where you are comfortable and free to be you. Any other relationship is just not worth it. Deborah says, I do. I think she wants to marry me. That's why she said that. She thought I was proposing here over the internet. I'm sorry, I am a minister. I can marry people, but I can't marry myself. And at this time, I would be a polygamy, and I'm not a polygamist either. So anyway, I know you didn't mean it that way, Deborah, but I'm having a little fun. It's my nature. I want you to appreciate me. Love me as I am. What can I say? Hey, if you're not in classes with me, you're sure missing out. I'm starting a class tonight. Universal Spiritual Principles. The ring's in the mail, Deborah. And tomorrow night, I'm starting a class called The Mastery of Self-Love. If you haven't signed up for a class and you want to, just go to agapespiritualcenter.com. Click on the classes and sign up. There's still room for people. We're all doing everything on Zoom. It's at 6:30 Central Time. If you're available and you want to be a part of it, hey, that's great. If not, that's cool too. I've learned that people will do what people want to do when they want to do it. And so what I am going to say to you is, you're perfect just like you are. Just make sure that you do the best you can be, because that's all you can be. And with that in mind, know that I love you. I accept you just the way you are. Everybody, go create a great day. Aloha.